Here's how you run a holiday one-shot with your family. No matter what you celebrate this holiday season, you're likely to spend some mandatory quality time with your friends and family, which means they can't escape you. That's the perfect time to break out some dice and play some Dungeons & Dragons. Now keep a close eye on the amount of horror and dread that fills their eyes when you pitch the idea, because that's going to give you the idea of the type of game to put in front of them. See you, Luna. Thanks for joining me. By the way, if you liked the video, please drop me a like, subscribe, and comment to help me cut through the holiday algorithm. Thanks. Alright, here's how you hook your family into playing a holiday one-shot with you. You need a really strong theme. And the best way to establish that is to base it on a movie, a holiday movie. And you're going to put that movie on the night before. But what kind of holiday movie? The kind that's perfect for a condensed adventure. Die Hard, Home Alone, Gremlins, Knives Out. These movies are perfect for a one-shot. A Die Hard-like lets players sneakily work their way through a hostage situation, taking out bad guys, where success is rescuing someone really close to them. A Home Alone-inspired adventure lets your players get creative, setting traps that punish enemies for breaking into whatever place they're protecting, whether that's a holiday workshop or a big elven tree. A Gremlins-inspired adventure turns a bunch of cute little animal pets that you give the party into an infestation of monsters that are hell-bent on their destruction. In a Knives Out-themed adventure, your family becomes investigators who have been hired to solve a murder. Who killed the Yule Father before he could give out presents? Something like that. Once you've picked a movie you think would be fun for an adventure, crank up the holiday vibes on it. Make sure the first images of your adventure are things being very festive and cozy. It's the week of Frost Feast on Winter's Day Eve, and the town is alive with holiday cheer. Once you've got that, then things go to hell, and it's up to your players to put it right. Here are 6 of the most important things you're going to want to do to make sure your family has a good time with this. Number 1, make it a low-level adventure. We're talking level 2 or 3. If your family is new to D&D, anything more than that is going to be too overwhelming. Number 2, pre-make the character sheets, but leave the names blank. You want to limit the barrier to entry as much as possible if you want your family to not get overwhelmed. But you also want to get them in the mindset of being creative. You can ask your family ahead of time if they want to play a specific race or class, but you should be the one to put the character sheets together. Number 3, use player aids and cheat sheets. In the description, I'll link some player aids that you can print out and put next to your players. These will have a list of things they can do on their turn, which is something helpful for even veteran players who sometimes forget about doing things besides hitting stuff or casting spells. Number 4, lean into creative ways to solve encounters. Because your family's new, they won't be playing their characters optimally. They may run into moments where they're getting their butts kicked. Place alternative win conditions or ways to get advantages liberally around your game. We're talking chandeliers over a bad guy's head, explosive barrels near a group of monsters, levers for trapdoors under an ice golem's feet. Also, if your dad has a cool idea about using a can of spray paint and a lighter to melt the snow golem instead, let him try it. Rule of cool makes this kind of one-shot work. Number 5, keep it short. We're talking 3 hours max, but aim for 2.5. This does mean you have to move the action along using some Dungeon Master as film director tricks, stuff like hard cuts to the next scene, and you'll have to limit the amount of encounters you have planned. But your short attention span family members will appreciate it. They'll also think more fondly of it if they didn't feel like it was a huge commitment for them, and will probably want to do it again next year. Number 6, steal, steal, steal. You also don't want to be tucked away, putting all this effort in. Steal whatever you can to get this to the table fast, and with as little effort as possible. One of my favorite holiday one-shots I ever ran was based on Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was essentially just one short dungeon leading to a big room with a carousel and dice that I ripped straight from the Oogie Boogie boss battle from Kingdom Hearts 2. If you find a dungeon map you like, or a pre-written one-shot that you want to adapt to be holiday-themed, just do that. Your family won't give you extra bonus points for originality here. And one last thing, don't be afraid to pick a game to run besides Dungeons & Dragons. My mom once asked me to run D&D for my family, but there were going to be about 9 people playing, which is an awful number for that kind of game. So instead, I looked for some one-page RPGs and settled on a slightly modified version of Capybara Caper, which is a game about committing lemon larceny as capybaras. There are loads of rules-light RPGs you can play through in just a few hours that can scratch the same itch as D&D, letting you play some really fun holiday one-shots with your family that they're going to remember all year long. If you have some suggestions for alternate rules-light RPGs, or just want to shout out some pre-made holiday one-shots, let me know about them in the comments. I'm still looking for what I want to run this year. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and special thanks to my patrons for helping support the content I'm bringing to you. If you're interested in supporting the channel, I have a Patreon that gives you access to a Dungeons & Dragons supplement called the Codex of Contagion that reworks diseases in D&D. If that sounds cool to you, I'd encourage you to check it out. My name is Ben DeHart, and have a wonderful Frost Feast. See ya.